Hi, Wendy.
Hi. How are you? Good morning.
Morning.
Almost afternoon.
I know. Couple more minutes.
It's sunny and beautiful outside today.
It is. You've got some nice windows to see that through.
Yes.
5 people. Seven now.
What are you doing?
Molly Goldberg. I can't hear you. You're on mute. You don't have audio.
I will. I will be.
I think it's your side.
She's not talking to us. She's talking to her.
My daughter.
I'm wearing my tri-faith shirt.
Nice. You can stay. I'm glad you're here. Happy May Day.
Happy May Day. I still need to warm up my lunch, so I'm gonna go do that.
No rush.
I think you can try that little square right. Those little dots. Does that rearrange? I don't know. What does it say?
What do you want to do?
We'll wait a few more minutes for others to join. We had about 25 sign up, so we'll take a few more minutes.
Wendy,
Yes.
it's Karen. Can you hear me and see?
I can't see you. I can hear you though.
Okay, well, I that's the furthest I've gotten in this.
If I can, I'm sending you a note to start your video. So let's see if you get that message.
Yes. Do I say okay?
Yep.
Here I am.
All right.
I mean, I see it. I see
you
me.
too.
Okay.
You made it all the way. Welcome.
I'm trainable, just like my cats.
Wendy, can you hear me? This is Gail.
Yes.
Can you see me? Because I just loaded this on my phone. I usually use my laptop.
We cannot see you. Are you Samsung?
I am Samsung.
Okay, hold
Yes.
on.
There we go.
I sent you a note to start your
There we
video.
Okay. Can you see me now?
Hold on.
I can. This is Karen.
Yeah, I can see you now too.
Hi, Karen. There we go. Now I can see me too. Hi, you guys.
Good.
Here, I don't know how I'm gonna make this work here. I might have to prop my phone up against something. I gotta find a better way to hold this thing.
All right, here come a few more people. Greetings, everyone. It's a sunny day.
Mayday.
That wire.
Friday.
Here, I got wires in the way. I'm not very with the program here today.
We'll mute you so you can get organized. Welcome. All right. Thank you all for joining. All right, we are going to, a couple more. Sierra, can you take the door from here? Can you admit people?
Was a co-host, but then I made you the host and now it won't let me. I'm sorry.
Okay, hold on.
You should be able with the more to make me. Thank you. Yeah, now I can get them. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yep.
All right, welcome. Good morning. I thought that maybe we would start today with a reading, and I will be vulnerable to tell you that reading aloud is not a strength of mine or a pleasure even of mine, but I'm going to go with it. I'm going to share the screen, and I'm going to mute everyone so that those of you who would like to read along can choose to read along, because perhaps that will make me less anxious about the fact that I'll be reading out loud with you. So I'll hope that we'll read this together. Honoring community. Thank you for the ones who find their way to our sides, our brothers, sisters, tribes, and clans. Thank you for the willingness to take care of one another and value our contributions as a whole. Help us put the good of the whole before the good of a few. We need your support to expand and to take the next steps. Ease our fears and teach us to gather in circles of equals. Remind us that a circle has no beginning and no end. Nature contains innumerable examples of beauty of co-leading and the sacred geometry of many parts working as one. Manage our defenses, diffuse our bombs. Humble us so that we can take tune into our divine frequency again and hear each other's joys and cries. Impart us immense tolerance for the eccentricities of one another, knowing that we have them too. Strengthen our connections and bring us together like family. Remove our irrational fears of moving along the road together and allow us to look at all options for teaming up. Inspire us in the creativity required to dream outside our insular boxes and singular family homes. Instead, may we meet up at the fireside to break some bread together and spread our beautiful ideas out on a table like a feast. Lean us into each other's shoulders when we need a little care. Fill us with unassailable hope that our collaborations will yield great harvest. Humble our pace with patience for one another. Slow our progress when we need to take a break to truly appreciate and understand the consequences. Clear our injuries so we can hear what's being presented today. Teach us to barter and trade what we need. Show us new ways of conducting community and commerce that benefit our higher purpose and fellowship. Remind us that not so long ago, our currency was simply trading our best work for someone else's to meet our needs. Burn up our excess ego and inspire our communications with thunderous compassion. Provide us with the strength of character needed to be good to each other. Let us default to great love in times of doubting ourselves and each other as we work together towards solutions.
Good job.
Thanks. Yes. So that is from a book called Prayers of Honoring. I have two versions by Pixie Lighthorse. And it was called Honoring Community. And it felt like when we're coming together to talk about checking in and caring, that's because we're community. That's what we're based on. And that's why we gather here together today. So I want to start by having everyone have an opportunity to have voice. And yet there's 23 of us, so that's a lot of voices. And so to limit that, I'm going to ask a question. And the question is, what do you need to get from this group today? And I'd like you to answer with your name and one word that articulates what you need from this community today. And I think I'll unmute everyone and then I'll call on people if that's okay. So I'll kind of go down the participant list that's on my list. So I'll go first. I'm Wendy, and the one word that I need today is calm. Sierra.
My name is Sierra, and I need connection.
Ann Pickle.
Fellowship. I'm Ann. Fellowship.
Bonnie.
Did you say Bonnie?
Bonnie.
Sorry. Sharing. I'm Bonnie.
Aaron, connection.
Thank you. Deb. Deb, do you want to share? How about Elizabeth?
I'm Elizabeth. I need a message.
Eric.
I need time.
Eileen.
Comfort. I'm Eileen. Comfort.
Karen.
Karen, I need calm.
Lee.
I'm Lee. I need community.
Joyce.
Peace.
Molly.
I'm Molly. I need my mom.
Bless your heart.
Gail.
Hope.
Roger.
I need growth.
Suzanne.
Peace.
Sandy.
I'm Sandy. Can you hear me? I need love.
Raise your hand.
Sharon. Suzanne.
Sharon, I did it already.
Sharon. Oh, please go, Sharon. You already went, sorry. They're moving around. How about Karen?
I went already too. Is there more than one Karen?
Karen Euler. Did you go? Distraction, she added. Mary. Yes, Roger.
This is Judy.
Judy,
I'm
please.
here with Roger. That's
Thank
okay.
you. Yes.
I called because I want to listen.
Beautiful. Who else didn't get a chance to go? Suzanne?
Solace.
Thank you. Becky?
I'm Becky Balestri. Insight.
Beautiful. Anyone else not get a chance to share?
I'm Susan,
Yes.
and I'm looking for community.
Thank you.
There's
Thank
two
you all.
Suzannes.
Two Suzannes. Beautiful. Thank
I'm
you all
Vicky.
for being here. Anyone else?
Hi, I'm Vicky, and I'd say community.
Community. Thank you.
This is Mary, and I also just called to listen and be a part. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Next, I'm going to share my screen again, and this time I'd like to share with you a map. And this map is of different roles that people take in social change ecosystems. And the idea here being, Sierra, can you mute everyone else, please? The idea here is that that we each such unique beings in what we contribute. And some of us are frontline responders, and some are visionaries, some are caregivers, some are disruptors, some are healers. And we all have such different things to add. And so I'd like you to think about what your role is. And I'm putting in here, you could take a little time and scroll through it. It has lots of information here. And take a little time to look at that. I apologize when you're two people in a room. You might have to one or the other pick here, but take some time and let's see who we have in the room. We're not in a hurry. Aren't these interesting?
Do you mean just now? Just now in
I'm
these
good with you
times?
defining it however you need to in this moment. I think being present in this moment is all any of us can do right now. We'll take a few more minutes. People are taking time getting through all those words and making a choice. About one more minute, and we'll go with who's picked one. All right. Want to make a last minute check? I'm going to close the poll. And now you can see we have 6 people here who see themselves as a weaver to connect people, and 1 visionary, and a builder and a caregiver. Let's see here. 2 healers and 1 guide. And some people who weren't quite ready to decide what their role is. And we're going to give you a little more time. Oh, sorry. Molly's reminding me I have to share the poll so that you can see it. So now let's spend a little time with that again. So we have 6 people who see themselves as weavers, and a visionary, and a builder, a caregiver, a healer, 2 healers, and 1 guide. We're going to use those ideas again in our next little project that we're doing together, that if the intention here is to check in and connect, it's really hard to do that in a group of 23. So what we're going to do is break into smaller groups of 4, and you're going to have an assignment in this breakout group of 4. And the idea is that you're going to introduce yourself to the other people in your group of 4. You're going to tell them about what you see yourselves as. You can do any parts of these things. What you see as your role, and maybe a why, maybe something interesting, an interesting fact about you. And the piece I care about most, that I hope we'll share when we come back in the room, is what is your superhero quality? We all have a superhero quality. So what's the superhero quality that you have? So it doesn't have to be, you know, that you can leap tall buildings in a single bound. Although I think that's a really good one, because today is my oldest child's birthday. His name is Joe, and he was really into Superman as a kid. As a matter of fact, he wanted to wear his Superman outfit every day when he was a little boy. And we made a rule that he could only wear it on Mondays. And we had a whole song that we sang about Monday being Super Day. And so in his honor, I really thought that this superhero quality thing spoke to me today when I saw it as an exercise, because I think it's important for us to acknowledge that we all do have some superhuman quality. And it can be anything at all. So we're going to break into smaller rooms, and you're going to have 15 or 20 minutes in that room to talk in groups of 4, and then maybe decide that you're going to come back and introduce someone else and tell us what their superhuman quality is, if you're open to that. All right. So I'm going to break you into breakout rooms, and they are random. Let's see here. There'll be 4 in each room. And please, yep, and Sierra put the instructions in the chat, and there's also a breakout of the roles. So if you want to talk about the roles more, or you want to focus on something interesting about you, or you want to focus on your superhuman quality, you have about 20 minutes to talk in your small group, and then we'll call you back in and we'll talk to each other again. Thank you. Hi. There you go. Mary, are you going into a room? Welcome back. Sharon and Sierra, were you together? Yes, no?
We were.
Sorry.
We always end up together, Sierra and I. I don't know why.
I didn't even pick that. It's divine.
You tip the screen up a little.
I was gonna crack up if I got to be with like Vicky and Sharon, and then it was just like Urban Abbey. Like attendee.
I was wondering about that, Sergio.
Nice.
What was also divine was that there, in our group, there were, out of 4, 3 of us were weavers. So that was an interesting, I didn't feel so random all of a sudden.
Oh, isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
What else did people learn in their groups?
In our group, we had 3 weavers, a caregiver, but with the weavers, we identified with other aspects as well, like healer, guide.
Interesting. Weaver feels like something that would go with, you know, innately, right, with other traits.
Mm.
So not everyone was able to come back to the large group, but yes, Molly.
I was going to introduce Suzanne Strom. She's a member at Beth Torah congregation in Kansas City, and she's a member of 2 different interfaith groups in Kansas City. One is called the Faith Club, which is based on a book that came out about interfaith organizations after 9/11, and another has the acronym SOSS, and it's a national interfaith organization. So it was very nice to meet Suzanne.
Thank you. Can you all tell that Molly's pursuing her PhD? Isn't she just got it all in line in a box for us? Thank you. I appreciate that. How nice of you to make that introduction. Suzanne, let's see if I can find you on my screen here. Welcome. Tell us what brought you here today. I'm curious. How did you know to join us? We have to unmute you. 1 second. There you go.
I sign up for things, so I receive emails. I don't know, did you, it may be, I'm very active in the URJ, Reform Movement.
Probably through our event with Priya Parker. Were you part of Priya's event?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes,
Great.
that was wonderful.
Good.
Yeah, so that's how I found out about it.
That's great. Welcome. And was the Faith Club the book with the 3 women?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
we had them come to Temple Israel also. They were great. They were really powerful. Yeah. Who else would like to introduce us to someone who, or share their superpower that you're moved by? Roger, there you go.
My wife's the other person on the screen, and she's the person I'm supposed to talk about. And she declared that she's a magician. And when we moved from Vermont to we moved from Massachusetts to Vermont, and Judy was a member of a liturgical dance group in Massachusetts. I wanted to start a liturgical dance group in our church in Hardwick, Vermont, and no one was interested. So Judy got her hat out and pulled 13 liturgical dancers and 4 adults from Massachusetts. One of them, they were from 2 different churches that we had belonged to. One of them was a church, all white girls. They were the liturgical dancers. Another one was all black girls. And we got 13 of them to come to Hardwick and did their liturgical dance on a Saturday night and a Sunday in church. And the next week, the phone was ringing from our church in Hardwick saying, I want to do that. And it's amazing how she pulled those 13 people out of her hat to make it work.
Beautiful, thank you. Who else has something that they'd like to share that they learned?
Well, I can speak. I'm Judy Wabel. I'm Roger's wife. And I didn't really learn this then, but I can tell you that he said he loves to share. That's what he likes to do. And he likes to share his guitar playing at in many places, but he spoke specifically about an assisted living program that we would go, and he would sing and play guitar and make me look silly. And folks enjoyed that. He is a bread baker, and he loves to bake bread for our family and for friends. And he told the story of a woman who had been not participating in communion, which of course is a very important part of our church life, because she couldn't have yeast, and so she couldn't take the bread. And he introduced her to a bread that was made with no yeast, and we used that going forward, and she was always able to take communion after that.
Thank you. Suzanne was really patient in our small group because she was able to hear us, but we weren't able to hear her. And that was a really interesting experiment for us. And so Suzanne is introducing what she learned about Eileen in the chat. And so please look into your chat and learn a little bit more about Eileen Arnold and what Suzanne shared there, so that doesn't go. All right, Suzanne is suggesting, yeah, Sandy.
I just wanted to say I had a really lovely experience with the 4 women that I was in with. It was Elizabeth and Vicky and Lee. And I think that what the 3 weavers and the 1 caretaker. And it was interesting because I think Lee is a visionary. She's such an artist. And Elizabeth, who wouldn't show herself until the beginning, there was just a lot of talk about how we listen to each other and how we connect. And the superpowers were ones that were mostly all connectors. They were connectors, and they needed to connect on levels. And I think I love the fact that Vicky talked about how we listen, and just that was her superpower, how to listen. And Liz's was connect, and Lee was just the caregiver, the healing piece of it. So thank you, my women. It was amazing.
Thank you for sharing that. Anyone else want to share? I love how the superpowers are translating.
I'll share next.
Please.
This is Eileen, and I'm sorry, but all of a sudden my video decided it didn't want to work. So you get to see me and my lovely son. So I had the pleasure of meeting Karen, and Karen is a firstborn, and she has accomplished quite a lot working in our community. And her super power is the fact that she is very good at seeing the big picture instantly whenever she's in a group and discussing things. So that is a great superpower to have.
Thank you for sharing that. Who else has something they'd like to share? Looking for waving hands or virtually raise your hand. Karen?
Learned about Sharon, and that she mentioned that others felt her superpower was being consistent, and that she didn't always feel that, and it got into a discussion in imposter syndrome and how others see us doesn't always mesh with how we see ourselves. And we're like, how did they get that out of us? But it's there.
Wow. There's a lot of truth there. Thank you. Anyone else?
Bonnie's waving her hand.
Bonnie, sorry. There's so many, I can't see you all on the same screen. Thanks for the help.
That's okay. I think, what's her name? Beth, Ann, and Gail. What's her name? Beth?
Her name was Becky left us.
Becky. Becky had to leave.
She
She
had
had
something going on.
semi-emergency. So, but nobody was in danger. Anyway, she needed to leave the group. But all of these women that we were with, Gail and Ann and Becky and I, it felt like there was just a common thread in everything that we said. When we talked about ourselves and each other, it felt very connected. So I don't know about superpowers. I think every single one of us that's here already has all that. But so that's the way I felt, Gail. I don't know about you, Anne. Gail is nodding her head. I just felt like we're sisters under the skin, and that if I don't get anything else today as an affirmation, that's enough for me.
I agree. I was in the same, and I think we were all four very caring people. I think we cared about learning about each other and we cared about our community. We're all very concerned about the unemployment situation here currently. And I brought up something kind of out of left field, the concern about opening everything too early. It showed on my computer that we have, as far as the disease, it's increased 100% since a week ago. And everything's supposed to be starting to open up Monday. And that's a concern. We were all concerned about that. We were concerned, we were all concerned people, don't you think so, Bonnie?
True.
So.
Wendy, I have something, this is just kind of a very practical matter that I'd like to share really quickly. For everyone who is concerned about anyone applying for unemployment and dealing with it, having worked through the system, call the Ombuds office. The Ombuds office is looking to gather information about anybody having any kinds of problems. And if you like—
Ombuds, acronym for something?
Ombuds is the name, it's an ombudsman is somebody that works in conjunction with, it's a weaver, puts things together, but there is an ombuds in the state legislature's office. And I'll go grab it and put the phone number on it right here so people can use it. It's a very important resource.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm gonna just put it right down there right now before we go, or people can, I'll go grab it. Go ahead, keep talking.
Thank you. Who else?
Suzanne has her hand up.
Yes, go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying Suzanne Strom had her hand up,
Yeah.
but I don't know if you can see her on your screen.
Yeah, go ahead, Suzanne.
She has to unmute. She's muted.
Oh, unmute. Hold on. There you go. Start again, Suzanne.
Okay. I just wondered where other people are from. If people say, here, like the last woman who was speaking, is she from Nebraska or somewhere?
So the Tri-Faith Initiative is in Omaha, Nebraska, and we have co-located a church, a mosque, a synagogue, and an interfaith center intentionally over a decade. And so this summer, we will open this interfaith center, and we will have completed a campus of intentionally creating a neighborhood of faith communities.
Oh, wonderful.
And so you should plan a visit.
Yeah.
Bonnie's showing you our t-shirt.
It's not far, it's 3 hours.
Exactly. And so hopefully we'll be able to gather for our annual picnic. Oh my goodness, Molly's showing you another version of a t-shirt. We'll have to send you a t-shirt so you can be an honorary, but we'd love you to join us anytime. We have all kinds of programming. And yeah, we're glad you're here. But many of us are based in Omaha.
Okay, that's good to know.
Yes. So
can I just ask, is anyone else not from Omaha? Because a lot of Zoom meetings, someone mentioned Vermont and Massachusetts. Are you in Omaha now, Roger?
Where is the woman that was just speaking? Where is she
Yes,
from?
we're in Omaha now. We're in Omaha now. We've been here since last August.
Great.
So we're veterans.
And Sue Ann, you said you're in Kansas City?
I live on the Kansas side. Yeah.
Kansas side.
Mhm. It's called Prairie Village where I live.
Great. I live in Ponca Hills, and so does Gail. So we're almost outside of Omaha. We're not enough in Omaha to get free trash pickup.
Oh dear.
Don't worry.
That's
Don't
so
worry.
important. That's so important.
I hope that I hope that today filled your bucket a little bit. It certainly did mine. If nothing else, just seeing the screen, that each of you had some moments with smiling faces. We have so many good things going on in our community that one of the things we need to pause in the midst of this chaos is to acknowledge and leave space for good and leave space for hope. And so thank you all for giving me that today. I'd like to share with you that Tri-Faith had some really good news this week, and that we got a large donation towards our capital campaign from the Nebraska Episcopal Diocese, and that really solidifies our capital campaign in a good place. We're not done, and there'll be an opportunity for others still to contribute, but it was a giant leap forward, and I got a full night's sleep as a result, and so sleep too, right? So wishing you all healthcare and healthy care and self-care and other good news hopefully will follow for all of us. We have started this practice at the end of these sessions where we rub our hands together. So if this is something that's comfortable for you, go ahead and do. And then take that first and share that heat with yourself. And then again, and share with others here to know that out of your right hand, you are sharing this love and energy and honor to everyone else here and beyond in the world. And in the left hand, you are receiving because you are enough. Thank you for showing up today. Come back.
Thanks, Wendy. Thanks, Wendy.
That was great.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you, Wendy. Thank you, everyone.
Roger, I wanted to ask you, because I'm from Massachusetts and my husband's from Vermont. And so that's why I was wondering, and his father was a Unitarian minister in Vermont and New Hampshire. That's why I didn't know where you were from.
Well, we are from Boston, Massachusetts area, and we were from the Northeast Kingdom of Vermont, Greensboro most recently, but my ministry was in Hardwick originally.
Okay. They lived on near Claremont, New Hampshire, White River Junction.
Yep.
What's the Vermont side of the river from Claremont?
Down near Dartmouth.
Yeah, it was about halfway up the state. He was there for 8 years, and I lived in Sharon, about 20 miles south of Boston.
Okay, yeah.
I
lived in Mansfield, right next to Sharon.
Right next to Sharon. Okay.
Yep.
Why did you all move to Omaha?
Grandchildren.
As a good reason.
That's a good reason. I kind of wondered maybe that was why. I hope you like it here.
Thank you.
It's a wonderful place to live.
We are enjoying being at the Tri-Faith Initiative. It's wonderful there.
Good.
Very nice.
Hope to see some of you in person.
I gotta go log back in at work. It was really lovely to see all of you.
Thank you. Take care.
Bye-bye.
I know.
Bye. Have a good day.
Bye.